Is AI going to take over the world? Yeah, I'd say there's a pretty good shot. We got Indiana Jones deepfakes. We have young Luke Skywalkers. We have young Robert De Niro's kicking arse in The Irishman. We have AI art. We live in very interesting times. Should we be concerned? Probably. But today we're not going to worry about that. Today we're going to focus on how AI can be helpful in audio production, especially if you're on a tight budget. We're going to compare 4 platforms. The new Logic mastering plugin, Ozone. As an older version of Ozone, I have Ozone 9, the Elements. Unfortunately, I don't have the new one to compare to. SoundCloud mastering and LANDR mastering. I did a mastering shootout video a while back. I thought it'd be good to do an updated one and see how Logic stacks up against all the rest. So I created a short little kind of sketch. We'll collectively decide which ones we think are the best. All right, so we're going to start in Logic Pro because I think that's what probably most of you are interested if you're already owners of Logic Pro. Why wouldn't you want to check it out if you had a mastering built-in mastering software built into Logic for a program that you already use? Then why wouldn't you want to try it out, right? So you have to make sure that you're updated to Logic 10.8. Once you do, you'll notice when you create a new project that in the stereo out, you'll have this grayed out mastering button. Now I've already mastered this once, but I believe when you click on the button, it'll automatically go into analysis mode. So let's open it up and take a look. I won't turn it on yet, but you have a pretty clean, basic interface, which I actually like. I believe at this point you hit play and it would start analyzing your music and it would create the master. But we're just going to hit the reanalyze button. Okay, so total elapsed time was like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds. So now it's created master based on just analyzing the waveform. There's a few different characters. I guess these are styles. The one that I liked the most was Valve. I haven't read any of the instructions, any of the manual. I don't know anything about what any of these characters mean. I like to just kind of get in and mess around, start messing around with the dials and all that kind of stuff. Now we have saturation right there, and we have loudness. Now, if you're pushing this, you'll notice even as my voice changes because the voice is also running through the master chain right now. I should have bypassed it, but whatever, too late. So you can add a little bit of saturation, which I thought sounded good. You can mess around with the loudest. I feel like if you push it too far, you're going to start to introduce some artifacts where you can actually hear the compression happening. And generally, you don't want to hear it. You want it to be transparent. We have some stereo width and some other stuff. You can bypass it and loudness compensation, so you can compare the original mix to the mastered mix without the limiter on, because our ears kind of trick us, and the first thing that we hear when a song is mastered is like it's louder. We automatically assume that means that it's better, but that's not the case. So these are pretty typical buttons. We got some EQ controls. Let's just see how it handled the mix without me really messing around too much. I will turn the exciter on because I like that. Let's listen without, and then I'll turn it on. So we're going to do this for each program, and then I'll listen to it back carefully, and I'll kind of choose my favorite. Maybe you can choose your favorite. I was going to do like a blind test, but I was like, yeah, let's just talk about the programs, how they work. Full disclosure, I'm using an older version of Ozone, and it's not the full-blown version. This is Ozone 9 Elements. But it does have the artificial intelligence analysis tool. So if you have a newer version of Ozone and you have the full package, you're probably going to get better results. But that being said, this is what we have. So generally, normally what you have to do is get to kind of the loudest part of your song. Which is probably about there. So I'm going to throw that in there, and we're going to play it, and we're going to do some analysis. So let's do it. Mastering Assistant. What are you going for? I usually stick around the middle. All right, gonna hit next, gonna hit the play button. As you can see, works very, very quickly. You have a little bit more control. There's a few more things that you're able to tweak. And for those that are familiar with Ozone, you can kind of build up your chain. There are presets that you can kind of go through. You have a couple different modes, IRC1, IRC2. I don't know what the difference is between these two modes, but I always like 2 better. I'm not sure why. But a lot of the controls are the same. You have your bypass and your gain match, very, very similar to what Logic offers. I'll toggle it on and off just like I did with the last one. We'll see how it did. They're all doing similar things. As I mess around with them, I think that you could probably tweak any one of these things and get very, very similar results. LANDR. Up until recently, you were only able to use LANDR's mastering software through their online service, through a subscription. There might have been a pay per master, but I've been subscribing to their company for a while because I also use them to release my music. I really liked the ease of use of their website. The layout is really good. Everything's kind of where you need it to be. Their distribution is really good. You can get stuff out to all the major platforms super quickly. Overall, I'd say LANDR is doing a good job. And their mastering I've been using for quite a while through uploading it through the site. So you can literally just upload your master to the site. You have a few different kind of options of styles and loudness. Same kind of thing. You have kind of like a gain volume match. Then you create master, and then you can download it. Now, it was fairly time consuming because you had to upload your track. If you're doing a lot of projects, you're doing a lot of mixes. This can just waste a lot of time. Very, very recently, they issued this as a separate paid plugin, which I believe is $300. Let's take a look. How much is this? You can try it for free. That's always good. Pricing. Let's see what pricing is. Okay, so they have like a subscription based model, so you can kind of look at that, and they have all kinds of other plugins and stuff like that, which I haven't really checked out. So there is a lot of kind of really neat stuff within bundled into their services. Their plugin, let's see, it is, there you go, it's on sale right now, Black Friday, I guess, $224. I think that's pretty reasonable. Full price is $300. I think $300 is steep. I don't think I would pay $300 for it. I think that's too much. Getting around the $200 mark, I think, is pretty reasonable for what it does. So you can buy it outright, and then you have an unlimited license to use. Or you can also upgrade to a Pro program, Studio Pro, and that will give you a license to the LANDR mastering plugin. But you will only have that license as long as you are subscribing to the Studio Pro subscription. If you want to own it outright and you're not already subscribing to LANDR, you might want to just buy it just on its own. If you're already a subscriber to LANDR, then I think the upgrade to Studio Pro is decent, depending on how you feel about subscription models. But now you have a plugin that's actually, you can bring right into your DAW, and you have a little bit more control over it. So this would be very similar to the online model, warm, balanced, open. But now you have a bunch of other kind of fun things. Stereo field, you can tweak saturation, compression, de-esser, a little bit of equalizer. I would make changes here very minimally. Not big, huge, sweeping changes. Most of these things should be done in the mix, but it's kind of neat that you can have, you can tweak and you can change a few things. So let's click the master button. It's waiting for me to play it back. So let's play back the loudest section. So let's see how it did. So there you go. That is LANDR mastering in a nutshell. You can either do it online or you can do the dedicated plugin. You're going to get extremely similar results, other than you have some more flexibility and tweakability within the mastering plugin, and you can use it right in your DAW, which I think is a massive bonus because you're going to save a whole lot of time. Then you can literally bounce straight from this, boom, you got your master, you're ready to go. Okay, so then you have SoundCloud. You have a bunch of different subscription models, just like LANDR. I believe with my account, you get 3 free masters a month, and you can purchase additional ones if you want. All right, so I'm going to upload a file. All right, we're going to set it for private, save, and there's our little master button. We're going to click on it. Sweet spot. So they want you to select an area of the song. So this is a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones suggested that you find the loudest portion. SoundCloud, however, their algorithms work, they want to hear the highest contrast in dynamic range. So we click on that to find the sweet spot. You can hit continue, let it run its magic. All right, once it does its thing, you'll have 4 different styles. So thunder, make the car's speakers rumble. Sunroof, Aurora, clear sky. Aurora is usually the one that I like. Usually keep the mastering intensity rated 50. I've tried messing around with it a little bit. I find that that's shooting right up the middle. Aurora is kind of the one that I've liked the most. So we're just going to listen to like a section of the song, and I'll tile it on and off. Final thoughts. It's nice to be spoilt for choice. It's great to have options. It's great to have different platforms and different tools in order to get jobs done. At the end of the day, you'll have to use your ears and decide for yourselves which platform is best for you. I've moved away from SoundCloud mastering, not because it doesn't do a good job, because it does, but because I find the interface a little clunky. There's not a whole lot of ability to tweak, and it's really time consuming with uploading tracks and downloading tracks. Ozone, I've kind of moved away from using it. It's a good tool. There are lots of ways to be able to tweak things. I have been using LANDR. I've been getting very good results through their online tool, and because I also use them for distribution, it makes sense to continue with that, and it is very nice to have their dedicated plugin. I think it works and sounds really, really good. I thought Logic did a bloody fantastic job, and I'm not at all surprised, because Apple just continues to innovate and push things forward, and although their products are expensive, take the iPhone for instance, people are able to do incredible things with the tools that they have available. So be able to have it built right into the DAW Logic, which I use for all of my mixing, and to have a tool that's I didn't have to pay for, that they just roll out and it's going to probably continually have new updates and new iterations, I think is a fantastic tool to have. And if anything, what it's going to do is it's going to drive down the price of the market for these other AI tools. So I thought Logic held up very well. Straight out of the gate, I still feel to my ears that the LANDR tool still gets the best balance of mix and the best clarity out of all of them. That's just my ears. Maybe it's just because I've been using it for a while. All of these tools are going to help you achieve better mixes by not changing in the mastering phase, but going back into the mixing phase and make changes. That's all I'm looking for in my masters. That's it. Those two things, clarity and volume. Everything else should be done in the mix. But it's nice to have all of these tools available, and if you're Logic users out there, you have nothing to lose. Get out there, record some songs, master them, and more importantly, release them into the world. Whether or not there's one person that listens to it or a million, it doesn't matter. Share your music. If you can reach one person with your music and they can feel something, some kind of emotion from that, and you're happy with the music that you've written, then your job is done. And all the rest really doesn't matter. That's it, my friends. Stay safe. Catch you in the next one.